Alright, so first of all, I would like to apologize if you can hear any buzzing in the background. I have a fish tank right beside where I'm going to be filming, so you might hear the bubbler humming. But, I want to talk about the situation that recently happened in Chicago. If you haven't heard, which I don't know how you haven't by now, a very, very terrible thing happened in Chicago very recently. 4 terrible, awful human beings who deserve everything that's coming to them, kidnapped and tortured a 18-year-old disabled man. They made him say racially motivated things and politically motivated things, made him drink toilet water. He was bound, and the reason that we know that this happened is because they videoed the whole thing and put it on Facebook Live. Don't understand the logic behind that. I guess they didn't really care if they got caught. I guess they just wanted to do it. But a lot of people are associating this act with Black Lives Matter because the people who did it, the people who tortured the guy, were black and the guy who was tortured was white. And they were saying racial things. So a lot of people are saying that Black Lives Matter has something to do with this, and a lot of people are calling it the Black Lives Matter kidnapping. Now, it was racially motivated. It was motivated by his disability. I do think that they picked him because he was disabled and because he could be lured in easily. But as somebody who supports Black Lives Matter, I don't actively do anything, but I support the movement. I think what they're doing is okay, when they're doing peaceful things, of course. I don't support any kind of violent protest. But this is the complete opposite of what I stand for as a supporter and what everybody else I know who is a Black Lives Matter supporter. This is the complete opposite of what they stand for as well. It's very devastating seeing this happen, and I do hope that they rot in prison. I don't believe in the death penalty, but I hope that they rot in prison, and, I don't understand, why anybody could be so hateful, but, this is, it's just very confusing why people are associating it with the organization and movement of Black Lives Matter, because it doesn't actually have anything to do with it. Just because these were black individuals doesn't mean that they had anything to do with that movement. They were all arrested. They were teenagers. They were all arrested and are going to be convicted to the fullest extent of the law, and they're going to be punished for what they did, rightfully so. There's no way that they can make amends for what they did, because this poor guy, he's going to be scarred because of this. He's going to be scarred pretty much for life because of this torture that he went through. So yeah, a lot of people on the right, who I do follow quite a few people here on YouTube who are a little more right-leaning, just because I do agree with some of their stances. But a lot of people are saying that it has something to do with Black Lives Matter, and it doesn't have anything to do with it at all. A lot of people are saying that if it was reversed and it was a white person assaulting a black disabled person, that the news, it would be like all on the news, everybody would hear about it. But back in May of 2016, I believe it was, there was a story in Idaho of some white high school football players who raped their black disabled teammate with a coat hanger. And this happened after months of taunting and racist name-calling. They even made him hold a Confederate flag and recite a racist song about the KKK. The victim had mental disorders, he had a learning disability, and a couple other things. And the football players were charged, but you didn't hear about that. I had to, look it up. I didn't know anything about this before. It was not in the media at all. So, it's a very invalid argument. Black Lives Matter had nothing to do with this. It's a very, very terrible thing what they did, but it has nothing to do with Black Lives Matter, and it should not shape your idea of the movement just because it's being associated with it. So, that's all I have to say on this matter. Sorry that I'm all out of breath and stuttery and muttery, and I take time to think and I look around. I'm sorry. I would like to make videos here. I've tried a couple times before to put content out, but I think at this point I'm gonna do it and stick with it. But I'm gonna try not to edit stuff because, one, I'm lazy and I don't want to worry about doing that, and two, I want it to be more authentic and in the moment. So that's it. That's what I got. I will see anybody who happens to watch this later.